Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Garcia. I'm a software support specialist over here at Distributor Central. Today's webinar, we're going to be going over the websites, basically show you how quick and easy it is to create a website. So with our websites, once you create a website, we provide a free SSL certificate. Our websites are e-commerce enabled, which means they have a shopping cart. If you're unfamiliar with the e-commerce term that your customers can check out, you can integrate your merchant account, whether you have it through Authorize.net, PayPal, PayJunction, or Stripe, so your customers can put in their credit card information and make a payment before they submit the order. Or you can do all your transactions through Distributor Central. If you're placing the orders through the back end on your account instead of your website, that merchant account, you'll still be able to process payments through your Distributor Central account. All our websites are responsive, which means that they're compatible on cell phones, tablets, laptops, and of course desktops. So you'll see that as we go along. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you, oh, and one other last thing is we provide you automatically with the URL. So if you don't have a domain yet purchased, or you don't have a domain that you kind of want to use, you're not sure yet, we provide you with a URL that'll make your website live online. And then if you do have a domain, you can connect that domain to your website, and we can either host it or you can point it if it's already being hosted somewhere. So either option, whether we host it or if you point it, you're still going to get the benefits of that free SSL certificate. And last but not least, we provide this to you distributors at no cost. So these websites are free. You can have as many as you want. By default, you can create as many as you want. You can have 3 active at a time. If you need more than that, just contact us and we can work with you and get you more websites that you can have active. So if you've been with Distributor Central for a while now and you're not really sure about the website, or maybe you've done all your business on the back end through your DC account and you really haven't ventured into the websites yet, or if you have a website outside of Distributor Central, so you really didn't need a promotional website, but you're kind of interested in to see how it works, this webinar will be helpful for you. So we'll do a quick short webinar, go over how to basically create a quick website, link a domain. We'll go into a little bit with the product collections, touch on base on the website preferences, and then as we discuss the payment processing. If you attend the webinar on Thursday, this Thursday, we'll go into more detail about the website editor, go over the different blocks, show you how to edit and customize your website. So that'll go into take a deeper dive into the website editor to show you how to do certain things so you can get your website customized to your liking. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them in the chat, and we'll save some time at the end to get those questions answered for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So once you log into your Distributor Central account, in order to get started, we're just going to come over here to the websites hosting manager, and this is going to show us a list of all the current websites that I previously said. So these are going to be the ones that are active and non-active. And when I was talking about the check mark, you can see here that the check mark, this is active, and I could activate 2 more if I wanted to. I can create more websites and I don't have to activate any of them. Once you activate them, they're live. And as I mentioned, we provide you with a URL. So you can see here the URLs that are already provided based on what I've named the website, and you'll see that as I move forward here. So in order to get started, we're just going to click Add New Website. These are those templates I was talking about that are pre-created, ready for you guys. So all the content and everything's on there, and it's already connected to your account. So if you scroll down, if I scroll down here, you'll see all the different templates. So you can take a look at them here. And you can choose any one of these. And even if you are familiar with, let's say you do know CSS, HTML, JavaScript, you basically know website design, you can even start with the blank template if you wanted to. So finish up there. And then as I've gone through and scrolled down, you've noticed that they have this preview button at the bottom. So you can preview any of these templates to see how they look, see if you want to, if it's going to be a good fit for you. So we'll take a look at one here. So like if we wanted to look at this Branding Power one, we can preview it. It's live. and you can get a feel for the website, the design on it and everything. So this up here is just a placeholder logo. I mean, you're going to replace that with your own logo, but it gives you an idea of how the website is laid out. So we're going to close that, and we're going to go with the Powerful Promotions one today. So we'll scroll down to it here. Powerful Promotions. When you find the template you want, click Use this template, and then we're going to name the website. So I'm just going to go DC Promotions, and as you see, as I'm typing it in, it's automatically filling in the folder name. So you can use the same folder name. You don't have to. It'll automatically fill it in for you. But let's say I wanted to do DC Promos. I can change it to whatever I want. So whatever I name the folder is going to be what the URL is in front. So you can see here, dcpromos.dcpromosite.com. So the way we form our URLs is it's going to have the .dcpromosite.com at the end, but whatever you name the folder will be in front of that. And then, like I said, you can map a domain to it if you want to, but just to get you started, we provide you with that URL. And as I mentioned before, with the SSL certificate, you can see that it's got the HTTPS, which means that it's got the SSL certificate, and your entire site is secure. So the next thing we're going to do is just kind of upload our logo here. So we're going to find where we have our logo on our desktop, click it, and you'll see it'll upload it here. And then I'm going to click just one more step. So you can see as we're progressing through, you can see the timeline here. So I have the template I've picked. I've named it DC Promotions, and then I've also named my folder DC Promos. So I changed it up a little bit, and I added my logo. At this time, if you want to change it, click Change Template. Once you create your template and you start adding the content and everything on it, in order to get it going to another one, you'd have to create another template. So as soon as you know, this isn't going to work out for me, or I want to change it, this is the best time to change it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and create the website. You can see it's created now and ready to go. So I'm just going to click Customize Website, which is going to take us into the website editor. So this is the website editor. This is where you're going to do all your editing on your website, customization, graphics, content, etc. Another way to get here, so let's say you didn't do the customized website and you just wanted to finish it up. You can click that customize website if you're going through the process, or once you're logged into your Distributor Central account, come over to websites again, Hosting Manager, and this is how you're going to access it after you've created it. Anytime you want to make changes in the future. I'm going to find my website, DC Promotions. I'm going to click Manage, and then I'm going to click Edit up here, and that's going to take me to the same spot, the website editor. So as I mentioned, we'll go into more detail on the breakdown. You can see the different block types and everything. So basically the website editor, each block has its own certain thing that it does, and it's just a matter of picking the block. So like as an example, this right here is a picture block. So picture block loads in images. Written content block loads in multiple things. Link bar over here loads in multiple links. So we'll go into more detail on that on Thursday, but I just wanted to show you guys how quick and easy it is. Right now my website's ready to go, and I could start sending it out to my customers and processing it. But I'll show you one other quick thing. So let's say we want to change the colors. Like I said, you don't need to know CSS, HTML, that kind of thing. If you come up here to the Settings tab, and then you go down where it says Global Theme, you can see all the themes that we've already provided for you guys here. So these are themes that we've already created and that you're ready to go. So let's say you want to change it to blue. You can click on blue and you see it automatically updates. So I didn't have to go in there and add any CSS or anything like that. If I wanted to change it to a different color, like that sort of matches my color there. So let's say I want to change that. Then all you have to do is click Save once you're done. That saves any of your changes. As soon as you save it, it goes live. And then I'm just going to do a quick live preview. And then you can see here's my site ready to go. So from here, I can send it off to my customers. They can start looking for products. The way the websites work is when your customer goes on there, or if any of your customers or anybody that goes on your website, in order for them to complete the order, they'll have to create a user account. Once they create a user account, they'll be able to log into that account. It'll track their order history, so they could do reorders, all kinds of stuff on there that they'll have underneath their account. As far as, I get this question a lot, your Distributor Central account information to log into your DC account, so the dashboard back here, your login will not work on your website. So your website is more for the customer retail facing side of things, whereas the back end is for you as a distributor, where you can see who the supplier is, what the net versus retail pricing is, the supplier's contact information. So the only time you'd really want to, as a distributor, create an account and kind of see, on your own website is if you want to do like a demo for your customer in person or online. Whether it be like a go-to meeting or, just anything, Zoom, then you can create your own account. That way you're not showing them stuff through the back end where they can see the information that they shouldn't be seeing, because all you're going to see on there is retail stuff. So retail pricing, all the descriptions on the product and everything, but nothing as far as who the supplier is, and the net pricing that you would receive as a distributor. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll go back here to the dashboard. Once you have your website created, you can also link a domain. So we'll just start from the home page. So if you want to link a domain, you just come over here to Websites Hosting Manager, and we'll come up here to where it says Domains. So as I mentioned previously, there's two types of things you can do with it. You can have us host it, and as long as it's connected to a Distributor Central account, we can host your domain at no charge. Or if it's already hosted, so let's say you have bought your domain through your registry, which is your registrar, and usually, like an example, GoDaddy, they'll sell you the domain, but then they'll also offer you hosting services too. So they might package the deal together and lock you in 6 to 12 months or something like that. In that case, you can just point it towards Distributor Central. It'll still connect to your website, your domain will, but they'll be hosting it. So that's one of your options. Also, another thing to think of when deciding whether you want us to host your domain or not, do I have email connected to that domain? If you have email connected to that domain and you have us host it, your email could go down temporarily for, a couple hours while we fix the MX records to match who's currently hosting your email so it can all sync together. So if you have email already associated with that domain, pointing the domain might be better for you too. So you're just going to come over here to the domains, click add domain, type in your domain. I'm just going to do one as an example here. And you can see, you'll see the two options here and what you need to do depending on what you decide. So as we talked about earlier, if you want us to host it, you'll pick the first one. Or if you want to point it, which is considered managing, you'll do the second one, which just means you'll point your A record to our IP address, the 52.4.6.12. So we'll just go ahead and do that one here and click Save. What this is doing is adding your domain to your account, and then from here, we're going to map it to the website. Once you change the information, so if you were changing the information, if you wanted us to host it, you would change it on your registry where you bought the domain. If you want to point it, then you can do it on the registry, or you can do it on currently who's hosting it to change the A record. So let's say we've gone in there, we've updated the A record, so we just added our domain, we're ready to go. And now we want to map it to our website. So we're just going to go from domains to websites. We're going to come over here to manage, and then we're going to link our domain. Click the link domain button. We'll start with the main host. Go to my domain, click add, and you'll see up here that once it turns green, you can do the SEO redirect. So the SEO redirect is going to help for SEO purposes, where if you type in www.mydomain.com, or if you just type in mydomain.com, it'll go to the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and do the SEO redirect, leave the host out because I've already done that, and then do it redirect back to the main. And so once you've updated this on the host or the registry, either the name servers or the IP address, it usually takes a couple hours for it to update. It can take up to 24 hours. Once it's showing that it's updated and you go here and link it, it'll update on our end within about 30 minutes or less. And so now I have my domain, and let's say it was connected, I could just send my domain out and it'll go to this website. You can still access it through this dcpromos.dcpromosite.com, but you don't have to go that route anymore. You can just send your domain out and it'll connect it to it. And as I mentioned earlier, whether you do the pointing to the IP address or if you have us host it, it comes with the free SSL certificate. Next thing I want to talk about is kind of get into the preferences. So you can see right here the preferences, and I'll start over so you can see the path here. So if once you log into your account, just come to Websites, Hosting Manager, and then we're going to go to the website in question, click Manage, and then we're going to click on Preferences. Edit would take you into the website editor, and we'll just do Preferences. And so here you can see all the different kind of preferences you can go to, whether you want the pricing to display. So if you want the website to perform like a catalog, you can hide pricing and have them contact you instead of being able to place an order. You can have, as far as it goes, setting it up with the customer account, whether they get an email notification. You can set it up as a guest checkout if you want to, and these are all the options that you can go through. So you can see here that I was talking about as an example, display order button on your website. If I click no, then they won't be able to process the order, but they'll still be able to see all the information, and they'll have a request more information button they can click that'll come to me as the distributor. So different kinds of options here that you can go to. Close that out real quick. And as we talked about the payment processing, we'll go over here to the account tab. So we have our website. So before I get into that, by default, your website is going to be set up where there's nothing on it. So if I was a customer and I went on your website, I placed an order, I would be able to submit the order without having to put in any of my credit card information, anything like that. But what you got to understand is that it's never going to go from the end user to the supplier. It's always going to go to you first as the distributor, and then you will process that, create the PO, and send it to the supplier. So even though there's no payment there right now, it's not going to go straight to the supplier, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can follow up with them to collect payment. But they are e-commerce enabled and ready to go. So if you have a merchant account, currently we're integrated through Authorize.net, PayPal, PayJunction, or Stripe. You can enter in your API information and get it connected to your account. We also have the option for the free PayPal, where you just put in your email that's associated with your PayPal account, and it will send it over to your PayPal account. It'll redirect them when they're going to check out, so they can make a payment. So to set that up, we're just going to come over here to the account tab on the left-hand side. We're going to go to payment and then payment setup. And then you'll see all the options over here. So right now you can see there's one for Authorize.net that's previously set. So any one you set for the payment type is going to apply to all your websites that are on your account. You can have bill to account. So any of these, like bill to account, bill to department, I'll contact you with payment. Those are just little bullet points they can check. That way that gives you a notification of what they're looking to do. But if you want to set it up through the merchant account, the ones that say credit card are the ones that are going to be connected through the API. So all you do is you select one, move it over. So let's say I did the Authorize.net, move it over, I'll click Save. And then I'm going to click Edit Settings because you can see invalid credentials. I don't have it set in yet. And then all I need to do is log into my actual Authorize.net account and grab this information, the API login and transaction key, hit Save, and then you're good to go. So with this, you can, as I mentioned earlier, that'll give your customer the ability to enter in their credit card information when they check out. That'll store the information, and then you can go in there and charge it if you want. You can also change the payment setting for it. So if you go to the account tab again, and we go to preferences and then account preferences, by default, it's just going to hold the information on there, but you can change it if you go to payments here. You can change it to authorize only. So that would make it so it authorizes the amount, make sure that's available on their card. That way you know you have access to that. or you can do the authorize and capture where it actually charges their card right then and there. So that was just account preferences, and then payments. And so you can pick the option that you want for there. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. But like I said, stay tuned for the one on Thursday. We will go over more detail about the website editor. I do see some questions in there, so we'll get those questions answered. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Our number is 888-516-7401. Or you can email us at info@distributorcentral.com. Hope you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.